Hi everyone. As the year progresses, we find ourselves entering that critical and incredibly busy time where our organization's expertise is in high demand. Our schedule is currently fully booked to facilitate essential gender-based violence awareness campaigns. These vital initiatives will be rolled out in two distinct phases: educational institutions, focusing first on schools, since they'll still be open on the 25th of November, to engage and educate the youth, and then corporate sector, subsequently moving to corporate events to promote awareness and proactive measures in professional environments, as we prepare once again to mark the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. But let us be brutally honest. This is not just an annual gathering. This is a solemn gathering of commitment, a renewal of our vows in a 365-day war. Every year, from November 25th, the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, until December 10th, International Human Rights Day, we draw a line in the sand. But in South Africa, this 16-day window is a stark reminder of the violence that consumes our nation for the remaining days of the year. The scale of the second pandemic, as it's rightly called, gender-based violence, or GBV, it is our second pandemic. But unlike COVID, this disease has plagued our communities for generations. The statistics are not just numbers, they are the ghosts haunting our streets. And we, as activists and as counselors and mediators, witness this every single day. South Africa's femicide rate is estimated to be more than 5 times the global average. Just recently, in the last 3 months, an average of 11 women were murdered. Just in our circle, 11 lives extinguished, 11 families shattered. An estimated 7 million women in our country have experienced physical violence in their lifetime. This is a grim reality. The purpose of these 16 days is to wrench this silent epidemic out of the shadows, expose the rot of patriarchy and gender inequality that feeds it, and commit to the structural changes needed to truly save lives. We observe these days because we have a moral obligation to protect the vulnerable and dismantle the systems that enable their abuse. Month after month, our organization travels provincially to bring awareness to this cause. The collective call to action should be that every person must serve. This fight will never be won by women fighting alone. It requires every single person, man, woman, and child, to become a committed activists. The burden of safety cannot rest only on the shoulders of the victim. To our women, you are seen, you are supported. To the women and girls who live every day under the shadow of fear, your strength is extraordinary. We deal with young girls that are living with their rapists and their abusers, and they have no way out. During these 16 days, we call on you to do 3 essential things. Speak out and seek help. Use every available resource. Break the silence, not just for yourself, but to empower the next person. Know the numbers. The GBV Command Center, the police, the shelters. Try and build economic resilience. Gather the support of sponsors for these gatherings and awareness campaigns. Seek education, training, and opportunities. For the ladies that are really struggling, which we encounter every single day, financial independence is often the first step toward physical safety. Try and support your sisters. Look out for the signs of abuse in your friends, in your families, and their colleagues, and your colleagues. Do not judge, but offer practical, non-judgmental support and safe pathways to escape. To our men, be the solution, not the spectator. The most critical shift must come from men. Hence, when we host workshops, 50% of our audience are young men, young boys. This is not a woman's issue. This is a man's issue that impacts women. If men are the primary perpetrators, and that's not always the case, but in 98% of our situations it is, but then men must also become the primary agents of change. Your contribution is non-negotiable. Challenge toxic masculinity. Stop confusing power with abuse. Masculinity is not defined by control, but by responsibility, respect, and protection. Start conversations with your sons, your brothers, and your friends about what healthy relationships look like. Hold peers accountable. The culture of silence kills. If you hear a friend joke about assault, if you see a colleague harassing someone, you cannot be silent. Your silence, that makes you complicit. You need to step up, speak out, and report abusive behavior, even when it's uncomfortable. Be a visible ally. Sign those pledges if you come across them to never commit or condone violence. Use your position of privilege in the home, the workplace, and the community to actively promote gender equity. Show up for marches, volunteer at shelters, and model respectful behavior every single day. This campaign is merely a launchpad. The work starts now, and it does not end on December 10th. Not for us anyway. The fight against GBV is not a seasonal campaign. It is a permanent commitment to build a South Africa where every single woman and child can walk in safety, free from fear, and with dignity fully restored. Let us commit from this moment on to the 365-day war against abuse. Let us work until the day we no longer need these 16 days of activism, because peace has finally reigned in our homes, our communities, and our nations. For every activist and participating member during this time, from the 25th to the 10th, I wish you everything of the best. Our preparation, it's already begun. And as much as we are enthusiastic about being participants of this, it saddens us deeply that this is something that we are called to do. soon after the 16 days of activism, we, as mediators and counselors, will face the worst period of the year, which is from the 16th of December up until the 2nd to the 3rd of January. It's our busiest time, most deadly, because we have cases of abuse, death, and placing children without parents into orphanages which are already full. So please become a participant of activism in your own right, in your own world, in your own communities. Please help us. We thank you, and we pray for a peaceful December this year. Love you all, and thank you once again for doing the work that you are doing if you are an activist.